Hello folks, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I decided I'm going to do a whip and chat of my new canvas Optimus Prime. As you can see, I already started. And then I got a phone call from my doctor that I actually completely forgot about this morning. But afterwards it's like, oh wait, I said I was going to do a video. So let's get started, or continue, as the case may be. So yeah, this is Optimus Prime, as I said. I've decided I'm alternating rows of True Crime Junkie and Optimus. I should be getting, hopefully getting a new canvas most likely next week, from Sigmal, Sigmall, and that one is a gift for a friend. I thought of her when I saw it, and it's like, wow, yeah, I'm gonna get it. Definitely gonna get it. Because I know she'll love it. She already knows. I showed her a picture, and she's excited. She can't wait. I just got an email this morning saying confirming payment, even though I made the payment like, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, something like that. So they will be shipping it. They're finally going to be shipping it. So yeah, because it's coming from the States, most likely, I think. Well, I know the company is in the States. I don't know. Well, we'll see when it gets here. Because if memory serves me correctly, the name of where the payment went to is China. Is in China, so it's probably coming from China, which means, yeah, next week, maybe the week after. It usually takes about a week and a half to 2 weeks for a package to arrive from China here. Yeah. I hate how much shipping costs. Although I'm quite certain there's a lot of people out there that are saying the same thing. They hate the cost of shipping. But what can you do, really? When it comes to shipping anything, mailing anything nowadays. Especially since there's no longer a Greyhound bus service here in Canada. I don't know about down in the States, but yeah, they stopped. The Greyhound is gone here in Canada, which yeah, it really sucks, because shipping by Greyhound was so cheap compared to shipping by mail through the postal service. And, well, I don't know how else you'd be able to ship stuff from Canada to the States, unless, like, you got somebody that's traveling from Canada to the States, or the States to Canada, and then there's what, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I didn't get that job at the restaurant. That is a little disappointing. My dad suggested Tim Hortons. My friend last night, he suggested the bargain store, stocking shelves, because that's what he does. He stocks shelves at a grocery store. But I've got a bad back. I have a bad back, bad knees, bad hips. Let's see here. I'm gonna get rid of the. I'm gonna do the U because there's just one. That color. Actually, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start reaching out to writers again. See if I can find some work doing proofreading again. Because I really enjoy doing that work. Proofreading, copy editing. It's good money. It's sporadic work. The writer, like I was the junior copy editor for a publishing company, but I think, which was just like one writer was her publishing company, and I think she may have just discontinued the publishing company because it was just too much work, too much, cost too much to run or whatever, not making enough money to maintain it, and I don't know. She never really said. She just said she was going back to school and was going to cut back on her writing, and well, I know she is still writing because I receive her newsletters, email newsletters. So probably told me that just to make me, not to hurt my feelings. But anyways, if she did do it that way, then it was a nice gesture. But still, like, it is what it is, as I say a lot of the time. But I know other writers I can reach out to and just say, well, yeah, like, this is what I do, this is what I can do. If you or a writer that you know of might be looking for someone looking for someone that can do this for them, then let them know or what have you. And because yeah, I kind of do miss doing that kind of work. Because so many writers nowadays, they don't bother with getting with like a proofreader or a copy editor or whatever. They publish the books themselves, or they just they work with Amazon, and they write the book, they send it to Amazon, Amazon publishes it and sells it, and they're just full of spelling mistakes and grammatical errors and punctuation issues, and yeah, I've come across a few books that were just so horrendously written, but the story itself was like a really good story, but it's just so hard to read. And then you've got other writers that, yeah, they have a publisher. They have, the book was proofread and went through copy editor and all that stuff. And and I'm like looking at it going, well, did they actually read the book? Did they actually make notes of the mistakes, the errors? Did they even bother, did the publishing company even bother, or did the writer even bother correcting the mistakes that the proofreader or copy editor pointed out to them? Because yeah, oh yeah, I've got a proofreader, I've got a copy editor, but really? You've got, like, that sentence does not make any sense. There's punctuation missing here and there, and wrong punctuation here, and that word spelled wrong, and that word is in the wrong context, and oh yeah, it's just insane. It is so bad nowadays. Yeah. And that's actually why I started looking into doing proofreading, because, well, I love to read and I want to help writers make their work better. Because, yeah, it's a good story, but it's like, yeah, like I've actually rewritten sentences for writers, and then the sentences, because the sentences just, they didn't make sense, or it was a run-on sentence, and so I helped, like, I broke it down into like 2 sentences, or I took like 2 sentences and combined them to make more sense, to make them sound better together. Because you got like a sentence that doesn't make any sense by itself, and things like that. So I do a mixed, I guess I do a mixture of both proofreading and copy editing. And yes, I really do enjoy doing that kind of work. But it's just like, I really don't know what the rates are, because it depends on a lot of things. Like, I feel that my rates are pretty reasonable, like really reasonable, but like, I've tried researching like the cost, like how much other like proofreaders, copy editors charge, and it's like, well, I charge $250 US for a book that's up to 200 pages, something like that. And some of you are probably thinking, well, that sounds like a lot of money. And others are probably thinking, well, that's not very much money. See, that's the thing. I don't know. That's just what I ended up charging. But it also depends on the writer. Like, there was one writer that actually, he got me set up with a website, a proofreading website of my own, to try and make business, get business, and so he was paying for that. He paid for it for like 2-3 years. Yeah, I started doing that in like 2019, 2018, something like that. And well, he stopped writing when COVID hit, when everything shut down, because well, he worked from home with his writing and his kid, and then like he's got a couple of kids, and then when like they shut the schools down, so now he's stuck at home with the kids, and so yeah, he just didn't have the time to write because of having to help with taking care of the kids during the day. So yeah, he stopped writing, and because he stopped writing, he stopped paying for my website. And I was fine with that, because, well, I was almost never on the website anyways, almost never did anything with the website. Basically, yeah, and the only time I ever got an email from somebody through my website, it was from another website, saying, oh, let us help boost your website through advertising your website for you. Just pay us and we'll advertise your website for you. And no, I'm good. I'm good. Can't really afford the website to begin with, so that's also why it's gone. But yeah, I did proofread quite a few books actually, for a few writers. The one that helped me with the website, I did all of his books for free because he helped me with the website. Other writers, I either like did proofreading or I was a beta reader for them. And with beta reading, or advanced reading, you get a free copy before it actually goes up for sale. You read it and then you post a review about it. So yeah, basically you get the book. Yeah. It's an advanced reader copy is what it's called. Most writers refer to it as an ARC or advanced reader copy, ARC. You get a free copy in exchange for an honest review of the book. And so yeah, I've done a few books that way as well. But with the one writer I did, as a junior copy editor, I actually had a contract with her, and I got paid for each book that I worked on. And she also sent me free copies of the books that I had worked on, and she signed them. Yeah, she personally autographed them for me. My name is not listed in the books, but I'm okay with that because I got free copies. Yeah. And well, no, they were not really the types of books that I would normally like, that I personally would read, but I enjoyed them. I enjoyed working on them and I enjoyed reading them. I did. But yeah, I think I'm gonna look into doing that because it's desk work. I can definitely do desk work. I'm fine with sitting on my butt in front of a computer for however many hours a day as I choose, which is what a proofreader does. I can work for as many hours or as few hours as I want per day, as long as I'm being productive. Like I can get like excuse me, I can get a book up to 200 pages. Like I can do a 200-page book in like a week. I have a certain way that I do it. And for when it comes to making notes, I tried like the first few books that I worked on for writers. They gave me a free copy of the book, and I worked on it. Oh, excuse me. And it was basically so that I could get like reviews from the writer, as to like for experience, and to get my name out there, right, in hopes of getting work working for somebody. I started doing this like back in 2017, 2018, something like that. Yeah, something like that. I haven't done a book, I haven't worked on a book in over a year. Yeah. So, it has been a while. But yeah, I tried different methods of working on proofreading, working on books. I tried printing the book out and going over it page by page, but then like I'd have to go onto the computer and go over each page, each printed page that I made notes on, and find the corresponding page on the computer and add the notes, and it just took even longer to do it that way. So I just stuck to doing it on the computer. Yeah, I found a method that works for me, and that's what I use. And never had any complaints from any of the writers that I worked for. They all seemed to really appreciate the work that I did for them because, well, hey, they were getting the work done like dirt cheap. Most of them, of course, for free. But yeah, I do miss the work, and it would get me off. It would get me reading more. And reading is, of course, something that I really enjoy. I've enjoyed reading books my whole life. I've had a higher than average reading comprehension my whole life. Like, I was reading novels when in elementary school, when the kids were still reading like Dr. Seuss type books. Yeah. And of course that meant a lot of like the teachers and my dad, they assumed that, well, because I'm so good with my reading, that I'd do really good with the rest of my schooling and I'd do something really productive with my life. Well, no. I believe that I was a C- average student, because I had issues with schooling. Memory retention is not the best. My math is, well, it's not too bad. It's not the greatest. Science, forget it. Yeah, just don't even go there with science. Higher education, no, not something that I can do. My memory is not the best when it comes to school. I still have dreams of going to school. I've recently had a few dreams where I was in high school, and I had been in high school for like 30 years. And I was going to school with my daughter, my oldest daughter, and we were in high school together, and then, but I've also had dreams where, like, Um, I'm on the staff of an elementary school that my younger daughter was going to school at, which is also really weird because, well, I was a staff member of Christian school when my older daughter was going to school at a Christian school. That particular Christian school was only open for 3 years. For certain reasons. But I was the librarian for 2 of those 3 years. There was no library the first year. But yeah, I had the library. I had the library years 2 and 3. And I really enjoyed being a librarian. Actually, it was when I was little. When I was younger, I wanted to be a librarian. Actually, yeah. So like I've wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be a librarian. My whole life, it's been like one way or another of working with books. And I loved being a librarian. Just loved it. The majority of the books were secondhand books. The secondhand books, a lot of them needed repairs. So I did what I could to repair them, to fix them. I cataloged every single book that was in the library. The second year that I was librarian, and it was all volunteer. I did not get paid for any of the work that I did working at the Christian school because the school was so small. They could afford to pay the teachers, but they could not afford to pay the secretary or the librarian. I think the third year they might have been paying the secretary. I don't know. I really don't know. They were hoping to eventually get a high enough student population to be able to afford the funding to be able to pay the librarian, which would have been awesome. Then I would have been getting paid for the work that I was doing. But like any money that I spent out of my own pocket for supplies, I kept the receipts and I got reimbursed for all of it. There was a program that I had found online that I got reimbursed for the purchase of the program for cataloging the books. And it also, I was able to like sign books in and out through this program. So yeah, it was an awesome program. Yeah, awesome program. I loved working with that program. There are different variations of the program for collectors, for like if you like for music and for movies, you could keep a record of like a catalog of like your music and your movies. And yeah, it was an awesome program. I even used it the second year as a librarian. My church, the church that I was affiliated with, they started a library, and I ended up as the librarian of the church too. But when the school closed down, the church closed down as well, because they were both associated with each other, and it's a long story. But anyways, so they both got shut down. So all of the books that I had cataloged for both, the Christian school was had a sister school that supported it and whatnot. They were actually building a new library Go figure, they were building a new library or expanding their library or whatnot. So all of the books from our library, all the books that I worked on and cataloged, and they all got shipped to this other school. And like I had like several boxes full of books at home that still needed to be cataloged and added to the school library and to the church library. But yeah, those went too. All the books from the church library ended up going to another church in another town somewhere. Same with the books that I had at home for the same reason. Yeah, I was disappointed that the school shut down and the church shut down. But life happens, and you got to move on. It would be nice to find a library to work at, but those jobs are very hard to get. Very hard to get. So in the meantime, I do what I can. And yeah, I definitely am gonna look into that kind of work again. Proofreading, copy editing. Yeah, because yeah, it's something that I enjoy doing. And like I don't need a lot of money because I am on disability, and so I do have a little bit of an income, and hopefully one day this channel will become monetized, and I'll start making money from my channel. I know it won't be very much. It won't be a lot. I know a lot of YouTubers say you don't make very much money at all, unless you're like a huge, ginormous channel. Like, yeah, you got to be a huge channel, and then you're making pretty good dollars. But every little bit helps, right? In the meantime, I just do what I can. I take things one day at a time, because that's all you can really do. Plan for the future, hope for the best, prepare for the worst, and if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Right? Right. Okay, this section is done. So yes, I use the roller after every section, and then I move on to the next section. And this one is a little small, so I'm gonna, excuse me, expand it to, let's go here. Yeah, let's go here. Now, let's see here. Let's go A. Yes, there are some A's. Yes, I'm doing alphabetical order, because that's just how I feel like right now. Alphabetical order. Sometimes I'll be in the middle of a section and go, screw it, I'll switch. I don't want to do alphabetical order anymore. I want to do it this way. And usually what that entails is, like, I'll start from the top right corner, and I'll go, okay, well, with this section, it starts with the letter C, so then I'll do all of the C's, and then the next one down is H, so I'll do all the H's, and then P, and then there's E, K, O, and then N, R, V, and then F. That's all the letters down that side. And then I'll move over a row if there's any in the next row that haven't been done yet, and then so I'll work from the right to the left, top to bottom. Oh my goodness, can't believe how itchy my nose is, and it's just the tip basically. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. For a moment there I thought there were no bees, but there are. There's a couple of bees. So only a small smattering of bees. And now that I'm looking, there's more bees than I thought. But I still have enough in the tray, because it still isn't very many. But let's see, what else? Oh, so yeah, Mushy's one of my favorite YouTube channels. She's actually Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting. She is my #1 favorite diamond painting channel. I was recently telling her about another another YouTube channel that I follow that's got crazy stuff going on in it. And I gave her a brief synopsis of what's going on with that YouTube channel, and even what I told her is not, like, it's not everything that's going on. There is a lot going on with that channel, and it is crazy what's going on in that channel. Yeah, because you've got bad neighbors doing bad things, saying bad things, calling the cops over frivolous things, and you got the corrupt town council, corrupt judge, or a biased judge, not necessarily corrupt, but a biased judge. Let's see, cops not doing their jobs, being told that they're not allowed to do certain things that required by law. Yeah. Other YouTube channels harassing and defaming this particular YouTube channel. All kinds of lies and stories, and pressuring people, other YouTubers and non-YouTubers alike, and incompetent lawyer. But yeah, through this YouTube channel, I've come to know some other YouTubers that are, like, quite interesting, funny, very insightful. They cover legal cases, courthouse, court cases. Like, just a few months ago, there was a case. For any of you that watch the show The Bachelor, might have heard about this case. It was between a former bachelor called Clayton Eckerd being accused of some stuff with a woman named Laura Owens. She was taking him to court, saying that he got her pregnant after a one-night stand. He got her pregnant with twins. And so yeah, she was taking him to court over that, and he's like, well, no, we didn't actually, there is no possible way that she could be pregnant, because we didn't do that. Yes, we were intimate, but we were not that type of intimate. And then she's like, oh, well, yes, we were that type of intimate, but I had told him no, but he still went through with it. And so that's why I'm saying that Yeah. So, she managed to get a restraining order against him for that, accusing him of they term it ARP, because not allowed to use the R word on YouTube. A lot of their, like, they do a lot of these YouTubers, they do a lot of live streaming. The majority of their videos are live streams, because they like interacting with the viewers, with subscribers, and a lot of the times they have other YouTubers on as guests, and yeah, it's lots of fun. I really enjoy watching them, and I learn a lot. I did take law when I was pregnant. I went to a learning center during my pregnancy to finish high school, to get my grade 12 and graduate from high school. And one of the classes that I took while I was there was law. I took Law 11 and Law 12. And so, yeah, so I know the basics of law. I know a bit more than the average person when it comes to law. And I do find it interesting. So the majority of the time I can follow along with what's going on. Okay, no, I'm lying. No. It's hard for me to follow along at times. The legalese, certain legalese, like Rule 26, that kind of stuff, I don't understand. But these YouTubers, they will actually, like, read out, they break it down, they explain it in layman's terms so that everybody can understand what's going on. They read a lot of the filings for the court cases and whatnot. And so, yeah, I find I'm really enjoying it. Really like it. So yeah, the majority of the time, like, if I'm not watching a diamond painting video, then I'm watching LawTube, is what they refer to it as, is LawTube. But like, LawTube normally is, you think lawyers. Well, quite a few of them are lawyers, attorneys, and not all of them are from the United States. There's at least one from Canada. I don't actually watch any of his, but he's mentioned once in a while. There is a labor law attorney from Sweden. He's covering he's covering a RICO case right now. Don't know how to explain a RICO case. But if you've ever watched the show Sons of Anarchy, it's mentioned in that show. There is a guy in Denmark. He's not a lawyer. I don't really know what he does, but aside from his YouTube videos, there is a news reporter. Oh yeah, there is a news reporter. She's fairly well known. I will say this: Donald Trump does not like her. Her name is Megan Fox. She is an awesome reporter. And yes, a lot of you will be like, Megan Fox, isn't she an actress? Yes, there is an actress named Megan Fox. She was in Transformers 1 and 2 with Shia LaBeouf. But this is a different Megan Fox. I really like watching her channel. And there's a few other people too. that are like not lawyers, but they associate with lawyers a lot. And they're friends with a lot of the lawyers from LawTube. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying watching those YouTube videos, those channels. And of course, I do watch a lot of diamond painting videos. There's Mushy from Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting. There's Katya from Carpe Diem Diamond Painting. There's Eileen from Crafts with Eileen. Or I know I'm gonna get names of channels mixed up and whatnot, but yeah, there's Eileen. There's Star from Starlight Starbright 70. There's Diamond Painting Anonymous. Some new ones. One of the new ones that I'm following is KY Philly. Sorry, Sherry. That's her name, Sherry from KY Philly. Yeah, it's a long name. Sorry, I can't think of it. She's a new one that I watch. There's oh my goodness, there's Crafty-ish Kristen. There's also Kimba's Crafts. Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank to other names. But yeah, see, my memory is not the greatest. Unless I'm exposed to it like a lot. Exposed to something a lot. Like, I have to be exposed to it a lot. Experience it a lot in order for me to remember. And that's why I'm really good with spelling and with words, because I'm exposed to them with reading a lot. I love reading. Yeah. I used to love writing as well. I used to do a lot of writing. Different types of writing. Writing different things. Excuse me, my dad, when I was little, he got a set of Encyclopedia Britannica books. This is back before before internet existed. So yeah, way back in caveman days. Yeah, when I was little, we had the Encyclopedia Britannica set. I was the only one, like, he got it for all three of us kids. I have an older sister and a younger brother. I was the only one who ever used any of the books. And I'd go through it and I'd find a subject that I really liked, that I was interested in, and I would copy it out of the book. And I was doing that with algebra once. And I just loved writing. I like anything like that. Anything that piqued my interest, I'd write and copy and whatnot. And like all the diagrams that were in, like, with the subject, like with algebra, that's what I was doing. I was like doing all the diagrams, and my dad was like, oh, she's so smart, she's doing algebra. And it's like, oh, I'm not really doing algebra, I'm just writing about algebra, like what's written in the Encyclopedia Britannica about algebra. That's what I was writing, and I was just copying it. I wasn't actually like and I think that actually helped, like, it helped with my memory of retaining at least a little bit of it. So like about 20 years ago, I started doing the same thing with psychology, because I'm really interested in psychology. I've thought about looking into becoming a mental health counselor, because in high school, my friends really, they would come to me with their problems, and they'd talk to me about things, and like, I never judged them, never criticized them. I would help them with advice, but I wouldn't say, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. It's more like, well, what about this? What do you think about that? And would help them figure things out for themselves. Like if they had a problem, how would you solve it, right? I wouldn't say like, well, this is how you solve it. I'd be like, well, do you think this might help solve it, or what about that? And what do you think about this? And I'd help them figure it out. And like I didn't go off blabbing to other people about what they said, because, well, I'd forget like 3/4 of what they told me by the time we were done having our conversation, which was a bonus. So, but yeah, it was something that I enjoyed doing. I was also learning about it because I was also in counseling myself. I was in and out of counseling most of my life because of my mom's health, with her passing away when I was a month before my 10th birthday. So, oh geez, yeah, these G's and O's look a lot alike, but they're slightly different in color. So there we go. Yeah, that's all the G's. Oh, so yeah. But of course, for me to actually work as a mental health counselor, I'd have to actually go to school. Oh, I gotta switch these there. I switched them because I always, like when I've got more than one bottle of the same color, I always work from the bottle with the least amount. Yeah, so I can get it out of there, get it done and out of the way sooner. But yeah, so but I know for me to become a mental health counselor, yes, I'd have to go to school, which costs money to take the courses that are required to get to be certified to be able to be a mental health counselor. I don't have those kinds of funds. I don't have a high enough like GPA. I didn't have like I said, C- average in school. Nobody's gonna like wanna give me like a scholarship or funding or anything like that to someone like me for schooling, because yeah, they'd look at it and at my GPA and be like, yeah, no, when things get tough, she'd probably just drop out, right? Well, I've been studying this stuff for like about 20 years, 15, 20 years, something like that. I don't remember how long it's been, but it's been quite a few years. Because I know a lot. I already know a lot from my own experience being to a counselor, seeing counselors, and counseling friends, and even being there for my dad. Like I've helped him with counseling too. Like when he was having problems with my stepmom, he'd come to me. He'd talk with me about what was going on between the two of them, and yes, that includes their sex life. But it was not something that it never bothered me to talk with him about his sex life, and because it's just, to me, it felt like him talking with me about what he, like the problems that he was going through with his marriage, made me feel like he was seeing me as an adult, like an equal, which is very rare, because I may at times be like an adult, but a lot of the times I'm not. A lot of the times I have the mentality of a child. I have the memory retention of a child. I don't have the greatest memory for a lot of things. I forget things quite easily. And you'll notice that in some of my videos. I forget things. I have issues with words. Even though I'm pretty good with words, I still have issues with words. Because of my extensive reading history, I tend to use big words. Don't ask me how to explain what a word means. I don't know how to explain what a word means. I'd have to Google it. Basically, I'd have to Google the meaning of a word in order to be able to explain what the word means. But I know how to use the word. I know it's probably sounds very confusing. It sounds a little confusing to me, and I'm the one trying to explain it. But I guess you could say it's just the way my mind works. I like to believe that it actually stems from childhood trauma. The way my mind works is because of childhood trauma. When I was just a few months old, my mom dropped me on the floor. And yeah, most likely my head bounced off the floor. But I didn't cry. It was unintentional. She did not mean to do it. It was her very first time having a seizure. She was diagnosed with epilepsy, but she didn't actually have epilepsy. She had a brain tumor, which caused the seizures in her. Yeah, so that was the first time I suffered a head injury. I had a tendency, like, there were times when I was little, I'd be really, really upset, and I'd bang my head against the wall. I'd be crying, banging my head against the wall. There was also one time my brother, my sister, and I, there were times when we were in foster care. We'd stay at a foster home because of my mom's epilepsy. Because of my mom's brain tumor. There were times that she would end up in the hospital. And during these times, my dad would either be like out of town with work, or like he couldn't take time off from work to take care of us kids, or what have you. One reason or another, we'd end up staying at this one particular foster home. And this particular foster home was a farm. It was on a farm. It was a few acres. I don't know how many, but it was a few acres. And they had some cows. The older kids would milk the cows. And there was one day in particular, I was in the barn, playing around in the barn, and I got all of us kids were called in for dinner. Well, there was a cow in the way. I tried to go past the cow, go around the cow to leave. The cow, as I was going past the cow's head, the cow, she just turned her head to watch me go by, and her horn on that side of her head hit me in the side of my head. And my head ended up ringing for a while. Yeah. And then there have been a couple of bicycle accidents where I fell off my bike and hit my head. And no, I was not wearing a helmet. Didn't have a helmet. Yeah. And, yeah, I can't think of any other head injuries, any other times that I've injured my head. But yeah, so basically, yeah, multiple blows to the head from different things. So yeah, my memory is not the greatest. Words elude me at times. I'm not always that great at articulating what I mean. I am working on it. I'm having to actually explain things to my dad in hopes that he'll understand, to try to make him understand why I am the way that I am. Or at least to make him understand I am the way I am, and he needs to try and remember and hopefully accept me for the way I am. I know he accepts me for who I am, because, well, I am still his child. I'm pretty much the only one of the three of us kids that keeps in touch with him on a regular basis. My younger brother, he cut ties with the family. He became a real arsehole, which is surprising because he was always such a good kid. Yeah, he was always a good kid. Always there to help, lend a hand, all that stuff. And then he started dating this one girl, and things just went from bad to worse. They ended up getting married, but before they got married, he had a falling out with our dad. They got into an argument over the phone, and it must have been over the phone, but anyways, so he cut ties with dad, and then I, being the family counselor, tried to fix things. Unfortunately, I didn't realize at the time that I was pregnant with my second child, with my second daughter. And I think that's when they got married. Yeah, that's when they got married. And well, hormones being what they are, I kind of made things worse instead of better. So then my brother cut ties with the whole family. Didn't want anything to do with any of us. They were only married for like 4 or 5 years, and then they split up. Maybe got a divorce. I don't know. All I know is my brother's got 2 kids from someone else, with someone else. But they're not together. He comes over to see his kids once in a while. And yeah, he's a real jerk. At one point in time, he had, when he was still living at home, he had 3 jobs. 3 different jobs. And, according to our sister, he was doing something illegal in order to be able to have the energy to maintain all 3 jobs, because he was working 7 days a week between those 3 jobs. And so yeah, he was doing the white stuff, according to her. And I know long-term effects of doing that stuff can cause irritability times a gazillion. So I don't know if he still does, if he actually was doing the stuff and still is, or I don't know. All I know is, yeah, he the last time I talked to him, I sent him a Facebook message to let him know that our grandmother, our maternal grandmother, had passed away. And his response, like I reached out to him on Facebook Messenger. His response was, "I don't care. Don't message me again," and he blocked me. Yeah, so I don't have anything to do with him. Even like he and I, we were really close when we were little, but yeah, well, it is what it is. It is disappointing, but that is what he has chosen to do with his life. So there's nothing I can do about it, and I'm not gonna try to fix things. It's up to him. I cannot have the stress, the anxiety, or any of that stuff in my life. The drama, no, I'm trying to keep drama out of my life as much as possible. No matter how much I might want to like step in and help someone in need in a way that I feel that I could help them, I just have to step back and say, nope, I'm not getting involved. I don't need the heartache. I don't need the headache, the stress, none of that stuff. Can't afford it in any way, shape, or form. So instead, I stay at home as much as possible. I work on my diamond paintings as much as, well, not as much as I would like. I alternate between my diamond paintings and knitting a blanket. Not a blanket, it's a curtain. I'm working on a curtain. When I'm done this curtain, I'll be working on another curtain. I'll pick up another curtain to work on. I've got several curtains started, but I'm only working on one at a time. And if you watched my most recent Temu haul, I received a curtain rod, and I said I got the curtain rod to hang a curtain in my doorway, the doorway leading from my kitchen to the back, to the bathroom in my bedroom. Well, I tried putting it up, and yeah, the curtain rod is too short. It is too short. So, because I did not do any measurements. When they say measure ahead of time, do it. Do it. Got to make sure the measurements are right. So I'm gonna look into ordering a different curtain rod. I need 2 of a decent length for the doorway, and then over a door, and because the curtains will help it'll lessen the loss of heat, and lessen the cold seeping in through the windows and through the doors. Yeah. And I know this from past experience. I've tried explaining it to my dad, and he just rolls his eyes. Yeah, so until then, I'll work on making the curtains. I'll work on finding curtain rods and ways to hang the curtains. The curtains for these long windows along the slide out, I don't know, I'll figure something out for hanging them there. Yeah. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna, plug away at my diamond paintings, plug away at my crafts, work on keeping my place clean. It looks really good right now, my place. I did a whole bunch of cleaning yesterday. For what was hopefully going to be a sleepover last night, but he did not sleep over. He had to go home. Yeah, he's like, I gotta feed my cat. It's like, well, I've got a cat, so I understand. I know what that's like. Yeah. So yeah, periodically, once in a blue moon, I do get a little tiny piece of my alien putty stick to the canvas. But it's rare that it happens. But when it does, I use my I guess you could call these murder tweezers. They're pretty sharp. Yeah. But yeah, yesterday did a whole bunch of cleaning. Got the litter box clean, got the garbage out, got the floors swept, got the carpet vacuumed. I moved some of my scrapbooking stuff to the storage underneath my bed. Finally. Unfortunately, I hurt my pinky finger, which is, you'll notice there's a band-aid on it. I put the band-aid is on fairly loose, but last night I kept feeling like I was having circulation issues with my pinky finger. And then, like, while I was cleaning, the power went out. And it was out for about an hour. During that time, I'm like, well, because it uses power to run the furnace, although it uses propane for the furnace. The furnace uses propane. Like, it started cooling down, because no power, no heat, right? So it's like, well, I am getting hungry too, so I can at least still use my stove, because it's propane. Just straight propane. So I went and I made myself some soup. And, well, I burnt my hand just a little bit. Burnt it right here. And, unfortunately, I don't have anything for burns. I don't have cream or anything for burns. So it was sore for a while. For a few hours last night. Yeah, and I've got a red mark there now. I'll have a red mark there for a few weeks before it goes away. Because that's just how my body heals. And it's still tender to the touch, so I try to avoid touching it. But yeah, for quite a few hours last night, it was like the slightest just the air touching it was hurting. It sucks. But nothing I can do about it. Although, I am going to look into buying some cream, lotion, whatever, ointment for burns. Because, yeah, using propane burns hot. So, even on low, it's still hot. So, yeah, I better get some. Because I can see a future of burns living here. Yeah, so I have no idea how long I've been recording for. Oh, okay, just over an hour. That's fine. I'm gonna go when I'm done this section, then I'll get off of here. I'll quit the video, but in the meantime, yeah, so what was it? Saturday. Yes, Saturday. I ended up watching 3 different live streams. 2 of which were with Star and from Starlight Starbright 70 and Sherry from KY Philly. Sorry, Sherry. I have a bad memory. I'm gonna have to write it down. But anyways, the two of them, yeah, they like first Star did the live stream was on her channel, and then the second live stream was on Sherry's channel. So yeah, I was chatting with everybody on there on both live streams, and while I was working on a diamond painting. I finished a diamond painting, and then continued working on knitting this curtain, and yeah, I was subscribing to everybody. Subscribing to everybody that was in the chat that had their own YouTube channels, and a bunch of them subscribed to me. So yeah, I went from like, what was it, 101 to 122, I think my count is at now. So yay, I'm getting up there in numbers, slowly but surely. And I hope those new subscribers to my channel enjoy the content. There was also another live stream that I was viewing, not a diamond painting channel, but one of the hosts, like one of the people on the YouTube channel, on the live stream, oops, there's no W's, oh, okay, mentioned about doing diamond paintings, has just started doing diamond paintings. And I piped up, oh, I have a diamond painting channel. And she's like, oh, maybe I'll check out your channel. And hopefully she did. She has and is and likes what she sees and has subscribed and continues. And that'd be cool. But yeah, that particular channel, they were doing, going over a trial that's going on right now. This woman named Sarah Boone. For those of you who don't know, she has been in prison or jail for 4 years now, which means in her case, what happened was in 2020, and she was living with her boyfriend, or her boyfriend was living with her, this guy named George. And they had domestic issues. They drank a lot. They fought a lot. Well, this one night in particular, they had been drinking. They had been fighting earlier, but they had been drinking. They were pretty drunk. And they decided to play hide and seek. Literally, hide and seek. He hid in a suitcase, of all places, in a suitcase. And she zipped it closed with him in it. And apparently shoved it down the stairwell. And beat on the suitcase a bit with a baseball bat. And she even made a couple of recordings of him in the suitcase. And him stating that he couldn't breathe, and yeah, well, she ended up going to bed and went to sleep, and woke up many hours later, and he was dead. He had died in the suitcase. Because, yeah, he was having trouble breathing and suffocated. And so I saw the video footage of her interrogation, and she kept saying it was unintentional. It was unintentional. She did not intentionally leave him in the suitcase. Well, you intentionally left the room, intentionally went to the bedroom, intentionally laid down to wait for him to get out of the suitcase on his own and come to the bedroom. that was all intentional. She unintentionally fell asleep because while she was pretty drunk, she was still still a bit drunk when the next day when she called 911 and the cops showed up and whatnot. But yeah, so she's finally has finally gone to trial because then she just kept delaying the case because like just issues with her lawyers. Either she had issues with her lawyers or her lawyers had issues with the case, or they had issues with her. But basically, she went through 8 different attorneys and then went pro se. She was made to go pro se for a little while, and then she ended up getting a new lawyer. So she's working with lawyer number 9. And it's in court, it's in trial, all of that stuff. And, yeah, so her lawyer's really got his work cut out for him trying to prove her innocence. Because, yeah. Good luck with that. Anyways, so, yes, lots of ramblings on about random stuff. Again, that's what my videos are. My WIP and chats are, and a little bit here and there of other videos. But as you can see, I'm done with this one. I've rolled it. Got this section done. I'm going to finish with this row. I'll work on it some more later. I'm going to do some knitting and maybe make something to eat. The dumpster was emptied, so I gotta go do my garbage. Couldn't do that yesterday because the dumpster was like, it was over full, and well, it was Sunday, so hey, yay, glad the garbage is gone so I can get rid of my garbage now. Alright, so yeah, my other video should be fully uploaded by now. Yeah, so I'll see you in the next video. I don't know what it's gonna be or when it's gonna be. Possibly tomorrow, possibly the next day. I know I'm pretty sporadic with my videos, fairly random. I'll do a few I'll do a handful in a row, and then go like a while without any videos. But now that I'm able to free up space on my phones, it's easier I'll be able to do videos more often for you guys, to share with you guys. But yeah, from now on, whenever I get a package in the mail, I will do an unboxing and show my goodies. And because yeah, every month I get a package from Temu, and I always have at least 2 diamond paintings. That's what I try to go for, is at least 2 diamond paintings plus other stuff that I can benefit from having. Yeah, like these 2 items here that enable me to be able to actually take the pictures from the videos and pictures from my phones and put them on my computer, because I plug this into my phone. It's got a micro SD card in it. I could transfer from the phone to this, unplug this, take the micro SD card out, plug it into this, plug this into my computer, take it off, and then take it off of this, put it on my computer. Not the computer, my external hard drive. Yes. Yay! Okay, so I'm all done. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.